Hello everyone, welcome back to David at Go To Hobbies. This video is about ufology and the paranormal. In a previous video, I talked about ETs being able to channel through a medium, or a medium to able to channel ETs through them. Very interesting. So that subject is pretty well covered in my previous videos. So if you'd like to watch that, then that will enlighten you to how ETs can communicate with us through a medium. This video is about ETs and their spacecraft, their home, their way of travel. Now, it's a bit of a controversial subject where perhaps the military don't really want us to find out. Why don't they want us to find out? Is it because they're using that technology at the moment? Have they obtained what we class as negative gravity propulsion system, or what another way, anti-gravity craft and devices? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So think about this from a point of view. So I'm going to call this video ET Craft Part 1. And the reason why I'm going to call it ET Craft Part 1, it's touching on the subject without going too deep into it. And then we're going to be further on parts to this, part 2, 3, and so on. So, what do I know? I know that there's different types of craft, and that the military, or Earth-based military, is developing or has developed. I'll give you another example. The TR3B, which is a triangle craft that I've actually seen, or TR4B, which I've seen. Either one, I have seen a black triangle, and to say the least, it was fascinating. A couple things that I've learned. I can't say if it's the truth or not, that the artificial intelligence incorporated into the craft is completely autonomous to the personnel on board, meaning to say it can think for itself, it can perform its own maneuvers, own actions without any input from the crew. When I say the crew, military personnel, they would not be civilians, they'd be military. That's my thinking. I might be wrong, but that's what I believe. Over the years, you've heard stories, or I've heard stories. One incident was this triangle craft come down on Salisbury Plain, and there was soldiers on in the training area. This bloke or person come down from this triangle craft and had like a wand in his hand, and he was able to influence the soldiers on the ground by pointing this at them. So it's a control device. I don't know, I can't remember exact details of what actually happened, but as far as I remember, the person doing this was a human being with a certain insignia on his clothing, but he also had a certain accent, and that accent was American. So where does this lead us in the train of thought? What it does, it makes us think about the Americans developing the TR3B or the TR4B. We also know that Americans are back engineering craft like they did from Roswell, etc. Obviously, there is some sort of speculation. There's also cover-ups, misleading information. As the old saying goes, you plant the truth between two lies. So you take away from this video the understanding that things do happen, things are real, it's not made up. People do see triangle UFOs, including myself. And it's one of those things you think about. Sorry, I've got a doggy on my lap. It's just knocked my arm, so I do apologise. And I'm a sort of a dog bed at the moment. They're laying on my lap, or laying in between my legs, and I've got another one sitting here laying to my left. I put my teeth back. Laying to my left. Anyway, enough about doggies at the moment. Back to UFO stuff related. So these and this technology, like I was saying about the Salisbury Plain incident, where a TR3 or TR4B come down and proceeded to order the soldiers on the ground around. And you think to yourself, why? What was this all about? Were those soldiers there to see, at least put it this way, did the personnel on the craft, which I believe is American, and I've got something else to relate to you in a bit further on in the video, but that'll be on the next video, which we'll talk about briefly, and that is my own personal sighting of a TR3 or TR4B. Something that is an interesting topic is obviously these triangle UFOs. I know a few people that have seen them, and so what does this tell you? It tells you that if I'm correct, that the American secret military, or people have called it industrial complex, have developed back engineered anti-gravitational propulsion systems and anti-gravity craft that are able to fly around and do things. I live in Nottinghamshire, in the middle of England. Now, I had a report about a triangle UFO that someone related to me that happened some time ago in an abbey, and I thought to myself, why did it come down in an abbey? What is the purpose of this craft? I know. Well, I think I know. And it's I'm just trying to think of the words. It's to research and analyze perhaps what it's capable of. In other words, like artificial intelligence, self-learning. And that's another thing about this craft. It has its own artificial intelligence, or it has its own entity that is on board. So if you think about this in a certain way, that perhaps they've back engineered. Sorry, I've got a doggy here. It's making herself at home on my lap, so I'll just have to move the camera a little bit. But in brief, what I'm thinking is this artificial intelligence that is on the craft, is it the craft that is incorporating the artificial intelligence? In other words, has the craft, is it living? I know some of the craft that ET use are actually almost like a living entity in itself. This is what it's supposed to be. I can't prove this, and you could say it's just mere speculation, but it's something that people need to know about, and it's about finding out the truth. Because the more we talk about it, the more we are interested in it, the more positive it will move forward, and the more people that are understanding it, and the more people that want answers, then it makes it easier to be brought out into the public domain. So by me doing this, talking to you, is bringing it out in the public domain about this, that and the other, that perhaps some things they did know about, some things that people didn't know about, and so on and so forth. So my next video will be talking about ET, or let's rephrase that, back engineered craft, what their purpose is, how they relate to it, how do they integrate into, how do I put it? Excuse me while I just think about what I'm going to answer. And that is integrate with a purpose. Being artificial intelligence or a mindful entity of itself. So is it an artificial intelligence where it can heal itself, repair itself, reprogram itself? I don't know, but it's food for thought, if you see what I'm saying. So what do you think about ET craft, the TR3B, TR4B, the triangle craft? What's your thoughts? Have you seen one? How close did it get to you? What did you notice? Anything unusual about what it was doing? Did you see any lights on it? How big was it? Did you get a photo of it? Have you been able to video it? All these sort of questions help to bring it into the public domain. So it is important that you have your say to help other people that are interested in finding out the information. So if you do that, or want to leave any comments below, please do so. It'd be very interesting for the rest of the viewers that watch this channel and this sort of playlist on UFOs and stuff like that related. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, as always, much appreciated. And if you want to see more about ET stuff and like that, hit the subscribe button above, then click on the bell icon and then click all, and then you'll be notified of all the videos that are made and what ones I've made, so you can actually watch them when you want to, and you'll be notified of all the different ones that are coming up, and so on and so forth. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye bye.